was an energetic wall that I couldn't cross. And the reason I couldn't cross it is because I was still attached to things that couldn't vibrate there. I was still attached to habits. I was still attached to rituals. A lot of times I was still attached to people that couldn't go there. Which means for me to function in that arena, that new arena that I created, I would have had to disconnect from myself, reconnect over there, disconnect from over there, come back over here multiple times throughout the day. It's a non-stop. It's an ultimate state of chaos. And you can function there for a second, but you can't function there long. Hey, brothers. Man, let's make a commitment amongst ourselves today, man, on this beautiful Tuesday morning. Let's make a commitment that if we're going to put our hands on something, if we're going to put our energy into something, if we're going to put our time into something, if we're going to put our thoughts into something, man, let's commit to ourselves, man, that we're going to go 100% or don't go at all. You know what I'm saying? In other words, whatever we put our energy into, man, we're going to commit to stop half-assing, is what I'm saying. You know, and if y'all are like me, man, you know, around this time of year, man, you know, the first quarter is closing on us, man. March is about to end. You know, if you monitor your finances, if you monitor your health, if you monitor your relationships, man, at this point of the year, man, you can pretty much look and say, you know what? If I continue doing what I'm doing right now, this is where I'll end up. Like if I keep my same habits and rituals surrounding my money, surrounding my health, then at the end of the year, like this is probably where I'll end up. Like every man should be doing that for himself, for his household, or whatever, man. Every man should be monitoring his life in that way, in some way, shape, form, or fashion, right? Whether it's on paper, whether it's just in your mind, whether it's on computer spreadsheets, whatever it is, man. Every man should have his personal portfolio. I'll call it that. I'm not talking about your assets and your stocks and your real estate. I'm talking about just your general life. Every man should monitor his portfolio. And all I'm saying is, brothers, today, let's commit that, man, whatever we touch for the rest of 2025, man, we're going to go all in or not go in at all. Like completely leave it alone. You know what I'm saying? Because it's not like we don't know. And I'm talking about now. Now I'm talking about those goals we set. On December 31st, man, when you stayed up all night meditating and praying and chanting and two-stepping and all that kind of stuff, saying, good Lord, this is what I want to bring into fruition in the year 2025. I'm talking about those goals. Because a lot of times at this time of year, all those goals, see, a lot of y'all guys, you don't forgot about those goals already. You sitting there scratching your head like, oh, snap, yeah, I forgot I said that I was going to do that thing. Lose those last 20 pounds. Start that business. Get engaged to the old lady. You know what I'm saying? You done already forgot. You done already forgot what you committed to. And I'm saying, man, it's not that we don't know how to accomplish those goals. Even if we don't know how to accomplish those goals, man, it's not that we don't know. It's like this. Like even if we don't know the proper steps to take, man, it warmed up. I saw it about 40 degrees earlier when I left the crib. Welcome to Texas. I'm saying even if we put plans in place and we really don't know how to achieve them, we didn't know how to achieve them. On the deepest of levels, we know that we can tap into universal mind and find out. And that's on an esoteric level. Even on a worldly level, we know that anything we want to achieve, we can get on the World Wide Web and tap into Google and find out how to do something. So people can just get off the gas on not knowing how to accomplish a thing nowadays. Somebody's out there showing you, somebody's out there giving information away for free. Somebody you know how to do it. You know, that's not an option. So it's not that we don't know how to do a thing. It's like it comes down to a matter of being all in or not being in it all, bro. And when I look at my life, man, and again, I'm looking at all situations. I'm looking at finances. I'm looking at health. I'm looking at relationships I've been in. When I look at my life, man, and observe, let me fix this. When I look at my life, man, and observe my wins and lessons, right? It all came down to, was I all in or not? Was I all in or not? So that's why I'm saying, man, for the remainder of the year, bro, it's like if we're not gonna be 100% in, let's not even touch the damn thing. Because I know, man, I know for a fact that if we are all in, we will accomplish it. You wanna know what the first step is, man? The first step is putting ourselves in position, man. Like, when we start off on these goals, man, we know on the deepest of levels if we're going to win or not, strictly by if we really put ourselves in position. You know what I'm saying? That we really put ourselves in position to, that we put ourselves in a position that eliminated the vices. That we put ourselves in position, man, to eliminate, the temptations, the women, the drink. That we put ourselves in position to save that money we needed to start the business. That we put ourselves in position, man, to not be around the weed smoke, the fatty foods, the fried chicken. So the first thing, man, is simply to put yourself in position, bro. Like, you gotta put yourself in position, man. Every day I wake up, man, I know that if people, places, or things that are in my life are keeping me from getting to the goal or not. I know it. I can be having phone conversations. How's it going, man? I can be having phone conversations with people. I can be entertaining certain places. I can be eating certain foods, knowing that I put myself in a position to lose. And what that means is, it means we have to eliminate distractions. But I don't want to talk about eliminating distractions, man. We talk about that all the time. I want to talk about why we have to eliminate distractions. And it's something I was sharing. It's something I was sharing with the brothers and sisters of Exit Strategies this morning, man. I was talking about the firmaments, right? And I know somewhere it's in the Bible. It talks about the firmaments of heavens or something like that, man. Even in this third dimensional plane, we can look at the firmaments of this world. Like there's all, atmospheres and all that kind of stuff, right? You gotta understand that getting to that goal, bro, you gotta break through a firmament. So I don't want to talk about releasing vices and all that stuff, man. I want to talk about why you have to eliminate vices. What's going on, brother? You know what I'm saying? It's because if you don't eliminate those vices, you can't break through that firmament. And what I mean by that is, like, there's been times in life, man, where I was elevating to the next stage or in the process of elevating to the next stage. And like, in order to go to the next stage, of course, like we always talk about, you had to become that. You had to become that to operate in that space. There's been times where I did the inner work. I created the avatar. You know what I'm saying? And when it was time for me to do the work of the person that I created, meaning get behind the computer and do the thing, meaning get to the gym and put in the so many reps. When it came time for me to do the work, whatever area that was in, I couldn't do it. It was literally like an energetic wall. Just for an example, just a random example. Like I could go to the gym and would be in the gym and couldn't put in reps in. I could sit down behind my computer and plan on doing a certain thing, recording a certain type content for a certain project, or writing my book. I can look at all those things in life, man, and there were times where I was getting ready to do those things or in the process of doing those things, but I would sit down and get ready to do a thing, and energetically, I couldn't do it. My mind could do it, my body couldn't do it. My mind could think it, but my body couldn't bring it to life. My body, in other words, the physical couldn't match my heaven. It was an energetic wall that I couldn't cross. And the reason I couldn't cross it is because I was still attached to things that couldn't vibrate there. I was still attached to habits. I was still attached to rituals. A lot of times I was still attached to people that couldn't go there. Which means for me to function in that arena, that new arena that I created, I would have had to disconnect from myself, reconnect over there, disconnect from over there, come back over here multiple times throughout the day. It's a non-stop. It's an ultimate state of chaos. And you can function there for a second, but you can't function there alone. When you see people having mental breakdowns and all kind, man, it's because they're trying to function in multiple worlds. So the reason it's important for us to talk about releasing the things that no longer serve us is because we can't go to the next world, bro. There's a firmament. There's an energetic wall that must be broken down. So again, going back to square one, it's not that we don't know how to do it. Sometimes we just lazy and don't want to figure out how to do it. Sometimes we don't want to just Google it. Sometimes we don't want to pay the $1,000 mentor fee, or we don't want to pay the course fee, or we don't want to just spend the time, go down to the library and read books for free. We don't want to do the work to do it. Sometimes it's that. But sometimes we will figure out how to do a thing and still can't do it because we're still attached. I'm gonna tell you, man, energetic attachments are everything. Everything. And I'm not even on some, you dealing with toxic people or toxic places. You can be dealing with high vibrational people. But if they don't vibrate in that arena you're going, bro, it's gonna hold you hostage. I put that on everything. Some of y'all brothers and sisters right now, man, should be working for yourself. Some of y'all right now, man, should be six-pack abbed up. Some of y'all should be having husbands and wives. But there's still something in your life that you're associating with. You're still associating with something that won't go there. I promise you. I've seen this multiple times in life. Having learned a thing, having studied to show myself approved and still can't experience a thing, it's because I was still attached to something, man. And sometimes I was still attached to the old version of myself. A lot of times we want to point the finger and say, yeah, if I would have just left that crown alone, if I would have just left that woman alone. No, sometimes it's like, if I would have had the gonads to abandon my old self, abandon my old rituals. Sometimes, man, we get of age, man, you hit 35, 40 years old, you think because you get up every morning and do a certain thing, that's just the way you are. You stuck in your ways. Sometimes you being stuck in your ways is gonna have you stuck in your old world, man. I promise, I put it on everything. And the thing is that being stuck, that being stagnant, man, you gotta understand this, man. Let me say this. I'm gonna say this, man. On this journey we find ourselves on, this journey we always talk about, man, accomplishing these things, bro. And I'm not telling y'all nothing that a lot of y'all don't already know. On this journey, bro, you gotta understand, man, at some point in time, man, throughout this journey, you might have a series of episodes where that stagnant energy, bro, it just takes over you, man. I want to talk about this for a second. This is a real thing because I understand that what I'm about to talk about now, man, is where a lot of brothers quit. It's where a lot of sisters shut down. You gotta understand, man, sometimes you're gonna have such a stagnant energy you're in for whatever reason. A lot of times it's from your own doing, right? It's from your own, unable to let that old world go, whatever it is. You're gonna find yourself in stagnant situations. And you gotta know when to call a timeout. I ain't saying get off the grind. I ain't saying shut it down. But sometimes you gotta know when to call timeout just to recalibrate and observe yourself. I'll say this, man. I can easily say that, and I don't want to say one of my strengths, but one thing that I know that I'll do at some point in time When life gets stagnant, man, I might sit there and grind my wheels at a certain thing for a while and get no traction and grind, no traction, no traction. I'll do that for a while, but at some point in time, when I say, you know what, I understand something is wrong inside of me. I understand there's some internal work that needs to be done. Bro, I'll call a timeout. I will call a whole 2-minute timeout and sit down to myself, man, and do nothing, regroup and find myself. And I'm saying I'll do that before I retreat, because a lot of people retreat at that stagnant when that stagnant energy hits, man. I'll sit there and regroup, which means I might go a whole day or two. I might go a whole week. Because there's been times, 2021, I believe, when I went a whole 6 months. You know what I'm saying? No content, no nothing. Just sitting at home, regrouping, thinking, what did I go wrong? What am I doing wrong? What is it that I need to release? What am I holding on that no longer serves me? What habits and rituals am I still partaking in that are damaging my success? You gotta know when to call time out, but don't quit. Just know when to call a time out, man. Understand that turbulence is gonna come, bro. You know, it's crazy, man, because it seems like everybody I talk to, man, everybody I have one-on-ones with, you know, by the time they get, not even by the time, halfway through the mission, man, you know, we're probably 2 or 3 months talking, and things are going good. Next thing you know, it seems like it happens every single time. Some kind of curveball comes. Something happens every single time. Something happens on their journey where the plan doesn't end up like they thought it would. Like when we sit there and made the plan and we got the rituals in place and we said this is what we're gonna do, and it's like, okay, we had a game plan. A month or two later, boom, something happens. Now, a lot of that is simply the old world crumbling, right? When you start putting new things in place, new actions, new ways of being, new ways of thinking, you can't think that your world is going to be, rosebuds, right? You got to understand your world is going to do some cracking, but at the same time, a lot of people don't understand that success is not just straight linear like that. It's just not like that. I ain't saying I know it all, but man, I done lived 40 plus years. I understand that every time I've set a goal and tried to accomplish it, it ain't never ended up like that. I'm talking about a long-term goal, a goal that would take me a month or 2 or 6 months or a year to accomplish. Oh no, it was never nothing like that. You know what I'm saying? I got distracted. That's crazy. But yeah, success is never gonna be like that. So all I'm saying is, man, let's lock in, bro. All I'm saying is, man, it's still early in the year, man. I know a lot of y'all brothers done forgot the resolutions you set. You forgot the goals you set. I know a lot of y'all, man, are still on the ropes. You ain't quit yet, but you on the ropes. And I'm saying, man, all we have to do, bro, if we find ourselves on the ropes, man, is simply to, take a 2-minute break. Take 5. You know what I'm saying? But don't quit. Take 5 and recalibrate, bro. Like this game of life, man. This game of life, bro, is super easy. It's super simple. Right? The challenge is eliminating the things that make it seem difficult, or eliminating the things that take our eyes off of the prize. That's the hard part. Accomplishing the goal ain't shit, to be honest. Accomplishing the goal is nothing. We all understand cause and effect. We do a certain thing, we get a certain result. Everybody knows that. Our challenge is eliminating the things that keep our eyes off of the prize, eliminating the things that keep our minds off of that focus. Because think about this. Think if you focused on your goal for 30 days straight, a week straight. If you just focused on your goal and eliminated distractions for 7 days straight, you woke up every day, man, you got on the physical regimen. You got behind that computer. You got to the books. You got to reaching out to your customers. If you did that for 7 days, think about how much your month would change. Think about how much your month would change. So think about if you dedicated your life to locking in like that. Now you're talking about quantum leaps on quantum leaps on quantum leaps, brothers. You know what I'm saying? Now you're talking about, you know, eliminating generational curses, man, and bringing on wealth into your family and bringing on new mindsets into your family. That's what it's about, brothers. That's what it's about.